What's up guys, it's me, Ender Flames. Welcome back to another video on the Kitachi YouTube channel. Today, me and my brother are reading the Moorish American Consulate titled LIEN for All Governors. You can find this document down in the description below, along with our email, themullings@gmail.com, for private consultation. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Moorish National Republic Federal Government. Societies Republica all Moricanos. Moorish Divine and National Movement of the World, Northwest Africa, Northwest America, North Date, Temple of the Moon and Sun, the true and de jure natural peoples, heirs of the land in Islam. Sorry if I'm reading this a little bad, but I just find it hard to read this font. Sorry about that. Anyway, let's just go back to the video. For the record, on the record, to be read into the record and let the record show. Universal Postal Union Document Number 718-229-000-1227-4911. Writ of removal with commands to cease, desist, and dispose of all in rem process. Against the Moorish Americans with notice of intent to line and arrest command. This universal and international writ of removal of all Moorish American nationals from foreign Christian de facto corporation custody with commands to cease, desist, and dispose of all in rem process, conquered, forced upon, or mutually consented to where the aboriginal, indigenous, living divine, natural Moorish Americans of the land are concerned as all corporate processes against the natural corporations, the natural living divine, ancient de jure Americans are fraudulent. This command declares that the said corporations have no further contact of any kind to include written, spoken, telephone, electronic, or otherwise with the living Moorish Americans. This command declares and includes the freedom of all Moorish American nationals at North America who are unlawfully branded as Negro, Black, Colored, or African American. This notice of intent to line all de facto corporations. And all corporations, DBA, courts, judges, attorneys, bar members, bailiffs, police officers, clerks of the court, and their heirs, and assigns all of the said corporations are to be arrested for fraud and treason immediately, tried to be military tribunal, and detained indefinitely, imprisoned at Puerto Rico or Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, all corporations, DBA, sheriffs, U.S. military, Grand Army of the Republic are to protect and serve the Moorish American nationals at all times. The Moorish Divine National Movement of the World, the de jure Moorish National Republic Federal Government, the Moorish American Consulates worldwide, the Moorish American Article 3 Consular, courts, and the Moorish American people hereby declare, proclaim, and file this command, with delegations of authority by the same and additional delegations of authority are given by the will Allah.
Moorish National Republic Federal Government. Authority of the Bull Anu, the Holy Quran of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, divinely prepared by the noble Prophet Juali, the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, 1786 and 1836, and the Constitution for the United States, 1789-1791. The Moorish Divine and National Movement, the Moorish National Republic Federal Government, the Moorish American Consulate, the Moorish American Consular Courts, and the Moorish American people do hereby file this universal command. Bill of Attainder, and contract cases against all persons, DBA, judges, for all corporations styled as courts, countries, cities, municipalities, states, districts, and U.S. Supreme Courts at North America. This is to conclude all cases that have been moved to other courts or otherwise. This is a counteraction to any past, present, or future fillings by any corporations at North America. Notice to principal is notice to agent. Notice to agent is notice to principal. Pursuant to the classically delegated justicial authority of the Moorish National Republic, federal government to carry into full effect the provisions of the 1786 and 1836 Treaty of Peace and Friendship, before in Article 3 Court of Competent Jurisdiction, and enforce the Constitution for the United States of America as to the restoration of proper and lawful due processes under the organic American Republic Constitution, law, principles, and operations. All Moorish American nationals, in propria persona, sui juris, in proprio solo, and in proprio haeredis, do hereby file this writ of removal. This writ of removal declares that all cases for Moorish American nationals are hereby removed from the occupied or European Christian United States U.S. corporation, unsanctioned corporate pursuit court, to the Moorish American Consular Court of Competent Jurisdiction for all cases to include criminal cases. The Constitutional Article 3 Moorish American Court of Record, which is also the Court of Moorish National Republic Federal Government, who are the issuers of this command. Right here, they'll have the meaning for these words down here.
What? Okay, guys. So, Moorish National Republic Federal Government. Multiple grounds for removal. Status: all Moorish American nationals are propria persona sui juris, are Islamic Muslim Moors. We reside in the jurisdiction of our ancestral inherited estate. Oh, I missed a line. Sorry about that. Aboriginal, Indigenous, Moorish American, national, and a natural divine freehold of this hand of America. All times there, we reside in the jurisdiction of our ancestral inherited estate at all times, and all of our rights are exercised at all times. Whereas we are exercising them now, we are executors, administrators, creditors, claimants, and beneficiaries of our own estate, and all corporate pseudo-court operators are but former trustee that are not unauthorized to subrogate our identity with the fraudulent capitalized names of legal fiction claimed by the United States of America, Inc., United States Federal Reserve Banks, or any franchise or agencies. Therefore, all are rendered bankrupt debtors are null and void. Diversity of nationality. We are being Moorish American, our noble freehold, Aboriginal, Indigenous, Autochthonous, Mormor. Of the organic Americas, the land by consanguine unity, we are the national, political, ecclesiastic, universal, and spiritual alliance to our Moabite, Hamatite, Canaanite, Moorish nation. Being the Archaic originals indigenous of Mexum, the Americas, and stand squarely affirmed upon our divine oath to the 5 points of light: love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And this is just the definition of these words. So you guys can go over this if you want, but I'm not going to go over it. Moorish Republic Federal Government. Our birthright, heritage, and primogeniture, the living benefactors, heirs apparent, jus sanguinis, by the right of blood, and just solely by right of solely of the extreme far west AI Moroccan American continents, land of the Moorish territory, North America, South America, Central America, including the adjoining islands, Americana, Amaru, Al-Morocco, the ancient American lands since time immemorial before 1942, European invasion, colonization, occupation, and birthright theft of our lands and identity.
Federal question, jurisdiction. All corporate tribunals lack personam, territorial, political, and therefore subject matter jurisdiction claims. All corporate actors are products of the Foreign Agent Registration Act of 1938. The amounts in controversy are gold-backed lawful money in excess of $100 quadrillion, pursuant to Article 1, Section 10, Clause 1 that reads, "Make anything but gold and silver a tender in payment of debts." All corporate employees of all corporate courts venues are required to take the oath of office, and they are foreign entities. The International Organization Immunities Act relinquished every public office of the United States to the United States December 9, 1945. The foreign private for-profit municipal, county, or state corporate agency pseudo courts lack jurisdiction to hear any case under the Foreign Sovereign Immunities Act. Each and all Aboriginal, Indigenous, Moorish Americans are non-domestic, non-resident, non-subject, and non-commercial. Moorish American nationals are not corporate entities and are not registered with any Secretary of State as a corporation. All corporate tribunals fail to disclose that administrative fictional plaintiffs are corporations and are deceptively appointed as trustees over all matters dealing with any issue involving the all-capitalized wardship name blank. And here are the definitions of these words: just sanguineous, American, federal question, wardship name. This is where I should read this one. This one's really important. That's the next page.
Oh my god. Moorish National Republic Federal Government / strawman name and fictional construct of all names in all capital letters to defraud the living man as to gender, and owned in the commission of involuntary servitude, because the wardship name strawman is not living in flesh and blood man, which is in action under the jurisdiction of the state of emergency. Clause Public Law 148 Stat CI. International crimes of fraud and treason. It is a fact that the Amendatory Act of April 20, 1933, under Execute Command 6111, and as defined in the Banking Emergency Act under Public Law 148 Stat CI, has defined the non-living wardship name / property, and the people of the land as enemies of the state under the amended Trading with the Enemy Act 1933 under Title 50, Chapter 3, Public Law 40, Stat L 411 as enemy. Enemies of their own country. From these facts, any alleged plaintiff and defendant being addressed by corporate pseudo courts is not living, divine, natural being, which is most basic identity as one of the living people, unlawfully and unconscionably converted to that of a corporation by fraud and deception. The very presence of the living Aboriginal Indigenous being in a corporate court is evidence of crimes against humanity and war crimes by the operators of all corporate pseudo courts. The alleged plaintiff in all corporate courts are not living nor a real injured party, yet corporate courts proceed as if crimes against the state were committed, which is evidence that the chattel property, that is, wardship names / strawman, are being charged as an enemy of the state under war crimes. The living, divine, natural, aboriginal, indigenous being constantly hunted down, persecuted without crime by said foreign private for-profit corporate entities, and denied due processes of de jure Islamic, Muslim, and supreme law of the land. This removal is pursuant to international diversity of nationality and currently on the file for the record of the United States Supreme Court. Precedent for all Moorish American nationals 16-1-16598E, and in the Office of the Prosecutor's Investigation Unit of the International Criminal Court for aforementioned crimes against humanity, systemic genocide, and war crimes. Additionally, the National Human Trafficking Hotline 1-888-373-7888, case #328400, is the case number for all 340 million Moorish American nationals in North America, whether they be declared or undeclared.
Moorish National Republic Federal Government. Proof of service. I do certify that a copy of previous writs, affidavits, declarations, and or notifications in the above notice of removal has been furnished by way of either walk-in for recipients, email, fax, or certified mail to all corporations, DBA governors of the 50 corporate states, and to the following: Moorish Consulate of the Moorish National Republic Federal Government, Vizar, Judge, Light Terrar Bay, 911 Southwest 314th Place, New Federal Way, Washington Republic. Oh, and this is the list of other people here. I'm going to sort of name out a few of these people. I'm not going to go through the whole list because I know the majority of this is just all the names here. But I'm just going to go through some of them, but not all of them. Tom Wolfe, Governor of State of Pennsylvania. Joel Trisrella, State of Pennsylvania Treasurer. Eric Papenfuse, Mayor of the City of Harrisonburg, Pennsylvania. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp, Georgia Secretary of State Department. Steve McCoy, Georgia Treasurer. Donald Trump, President of the United States. Mike Pompeo, Secretary of State of Washington, District of Columbia. Larry Hansen, GA Municipal Association. Jeff Sessions, Justice Department of the USA. Judge David A. Larison, Fedway Municipal Court. Washington Government J. Inslee. Archbishop of Seattle Peter J. Sartin. U.S. Department of Treasury C. Stephen Munchin, Joel A. Reddy, Cornerstone Law Firm. Kevin F. Kelly, President Judge of Delaware County of Pennsylvania Court of Common Pleas. Jerry L. Sanders, Sheriff of Delaware County, Pennsylvania. Governor of Montgomery, Alabama. Governor of Alaska. Governor of Oklahoma, Governor of Tennessee, Governor of Texas, Governor of Utah. Basically all the governors are on all 50 states, it seems. They're all in here. Governor of Iowa, Governor of California, Governor of Ohio, Governor of Kansas, Governor of Kentucky, Governor of Louisiana, Governor of Maine, Governor of Maryland. Yeah, all of them are here, it seems. Yeah. Governor of Georgia, Governor of Ohio, Governor of Montana, U.S. Department of Justice, Washington, D.C., Office of the Attorney General, Providence, Rhode Island, Governor of New Hampshire, Governor of Minnesota, Governor of Indiana, Governor of Florida, Mike Pompeo, Secretary of State of Washington, District of Columbia, Office of Attorney General, Denver, Colorado, Governor Andrew Cuomo, Mayor of New York, Bill de Blasio, U.S. Attorney General Jefferson Sessions, New York Secretary of State Rosanna Rosaldo, Magistrate William Condon, the Sheriff of Suffolk County Errol D. Tolton, Chief Clerk Frank Tropia, Priority Mail, Minnesota Mayor Mark Dayton, Oak Park Heights Prison Warren Michelle Smith, Megan J. Brennan, Postmaster General and Chief Executive Officer of the United States Postal Service Corporation, Mayor of Stillwater, Minnesota, and Kowalski, Michael Richard Pompeo, Attorney General Jefferson Session, Michael A. Hernandez, Postmaster, Philadelphia Post Office, Gary E. Sharpo, Judicial Officer, David Cutter, Internal Revenue Service, Betsy DeVos, U.S. Department of Education, Recorder of Deeds, Mario Browser, Jim Fish, Waste Management, Houston, Texas Corporation, Dan Palma, State Department of Assessments and Tax, Baltimore, Maryland Corporation, Jerome Powell, Federal Reserve Board of Governors, DC Recommended Deeds, James Dimon, Residence, Hearers and Assigns, New York Corporation, Jeffrey Dewitt, Washington, D.C. Office of Tax and Revenue, Kevin Donnelly, DBA, King County Attorney, Nelson McDonald, Jody Wilson, Carolyn Bennett, David Evie, Attorney General of British Columbia, Arthur LeBlanc, Governor of Nova Scotia, Annette Berry, Governor of Prince Edward Island, Nellie D. Cusack, Commissioner of Nunavut, Jocelyn Roy Navut, Governor of New Brunswick, Thomas Malley, Governor of Saskatchewan, J. Michael Doyen, Governor of Quebec, Moorish National Republic, Federal Government, Socialist Republic, Cal Al Marucanos, and this is the seal here, and here it is signed by the 11th September 2018. Light Tari Bay Vazar, it seems, and some other signatures here that I can't necessarily read. And there's a sign, there's the 2-cent stamp here. And yeah, it's gonna be it for this video. Like, subscribe. I'll leave a link to this down in the description below, along for email us at themonksgmo.com for private consultation. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.